Ex-girlfriend messaging you happy birthday, back here with another video. Thanks to everybody who watched my last video on the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. It's a great video, I had a lot of fun making it, so please go check it out. This week, of course, we are looking at the sequel to that film, 2007's Fantastic Four, The Rise of the Silver Surfer. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, or as usual, I'll kill the family dog. Power swapping moments, incredibly unfunny jokes, and sexy Jessica Alba. Oh boy, there's nothing quite like this movie. Well, I mean, there's the first one, but anyway, this movie is dumb, the characters are dumb, Galactus design is dumb, to be honest, the whole plot is dumb, but you know what? Fucking loved it. If you've never seen this movie, it continues the adventures of the heroic team of the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm are getting married, but of course, nothing happens perfectly. Chaos strikes when the world-eating bastard Galactus sends the awesome Silver Surfer to scout out the planet before he comes and devours it. The team go on a globe-trotting adventure to take down the Silver Surfer with the help of the US Army and the mysterious return of Dr. Doom, who seems completely fine after his defeat in exile in the last movie, but you know, the plot needs to go on. Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer came out in 2007, was directed by Tim Story, who, if you didn't know, also directed both ride-along movies with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. Apparently the guy has range for making kinda shitty movies. Anyway, on a budget of $120 million, it only made $300 million at the box office compared to modern day superhero films. That is shocking. That is awful. So all the cast is back. Ioan Gruffudd, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, Michael Chiklis, and also returning as mentioned is Julian Mahoney, back as Dr. Doom. Couldn't pronounce his name the first time, won't pronounce it right this time. He is even more powerful and developed than last time, and I just loved it. He's big, he's bad, and he's got a big bad plan. Legendary actor Lawrence Fishburne voices the CGI man of the Silver Surfer. Doug Jones is the body double for him, who you might recognize as Abe from the Ron Perlman Hellboy movies, the weird little fish guy. But he also played another fish guy in The Shape of Water, weird man who has sex with the woman or whatever. Anyway, both pretty good movies. I really love the inclusion of Adrian Brower as General Hager. He brings a certain gravitas to this silly movie that it desperately needs. So, like, Johnny Storm getting the Thing's powers is pretty fucking hilarious and terrifying at the same time. I don't think I ever want to see Chris Evans in that rock makeup again. This film has some really odd moments, like Mr. Fantastic dancing, another thing, and another funny thing I could say because I haven't thought of it and apparently didn't write it. I love the location with the London Eye being a big action set piece of the Fantastic Four, all using their powers to save the day, not fighting some big bad. They're all using it, lifting up the London Eye and all that. It's pretty cool. Anyway, the effects are way better. I mean, sometimes they're all right, but other things like the Silver Surfer, Weta fucking Industries or whatever, they created a whole new technology and all this to get the reflective surface of the Silver Surfer, which I think is pretty cool. But there are still some things. Obviously, it's 2007, but 2007, you look at Transformers, that shit looked great, you know. And I mean, again, this movie, there are definitely things like they even changed the prosthetics for the Thing. You know, he looks a little, I don't know, he looks less shitty. But yeah. Anyway, I really want him to bring Michael Chiklis back for Doomsday. I mean, nobody has ever said, "Oh, I want Michael Chiklis back," but oh, fuck the new Thing. Go back to The Bear, that's a shitty ass show. So why did we never get a sequel? Apparently there were plans for a third film and also a Silver Surfer spin-off, but Fox was so disappointed with the box office performance, and critically this film gets slammed for being a watered down generic mid-2000s adaptation. I mean, compared to the comic book, this really doesn't do anything interesting with any of the characters or the powers or anything really. You know, there's a lot of missed opportunities at every turn. The chance to do something really crazy with these visuals, and you could get the Fantastic Four fighting this guy and Galactus looking over the planet and all this, but they just didn't do that. You know, Doom, Silver Surfer, and Galactus all in one movie. 2 out of 3 of them are looking fucking great, but what the fuck were they thinking with the big cloud design for Galactus? I know everybody talks about this. It's been the fucking pet peeve of this movies for 18 years or whatever. Jesus Christ, 2007, 18 years ago. Jesus Christ. Right, so, you know, I get it. The classic comic book design for Galactus is awesome. I don't know if this is true because Instagram's just full of thoughts and people getting killed and all sorts these days, but I saw this thing about how Kevin Feige himself liked the design from the Fortnite event, so he's shown the Fantastic Four design team basically do the Fortnite event look, which is, I mean, if that's the case, what the fuck is going on, you know? But I mean, it's a cool look. Alright, I got some fun facts to end this video with about this movie. This time around, Jessica Alba wore a blonde wig because her hair had suffered so much from the bleachings from the first movie, but I mean, you can tell, but it's a lot lot better than the mess that Katie Mara's hair in the 2015 one was. I mean, that was a fuck up. I know they had reshoots and all that, but they just kept swapping the wig. It was awful. The forest scenes were shot in the same forest as used in the first 3 X-Men movies. I tried finding what this forest is called. I assume it's somewhere up in, like, I don't know, Portland, fucking Washington State or whatever. You know, I don't know. Out by Seattle. I don't know. It looks kind of twilighty. I don't know. Of course, the Marvel legend Stan Lee, who I didn't mention in the last video, and I'm really sorry about that. He has a comedic cameo as the guest, playing himself, who's refused entry to the Fantastic Wedding. This is actually taken from an issue in the 1960s Fantastic Four comic, where Reed Richards and Sue Storm are getting married, and Stan Lee and the series artist Jack Kirby are also turned away from the wedding, which I think is a fun little nod. Shame they couldn't get Jack Kirby. And finally, originally, Nick Fury was going to be in this movie, but he was written out of the script and replaced with General Hager, which I love, as I mentioned. But I can understand, you know, it would have been awesome, you know, but they were going in a different direction. But can you imagine an early days MCU that has already been established with a Fantastic Four, and Iron Man comes out of the woodworks and all these fucking things start happening, but we've already got an established. But then you may as well have done like X-Men, you should have done Spider-Man, put Blade in there, you know, they could have, Daredevil, you know, they could have done like a real, like, people always, I see like fan edits and stuff all the time, like, you know, of like the 2000s Avengers. I think it could have been good, you know, there's a lot of potential there, you know. Well, that's it. Well done. You've made it through yet another one of my videos. I know they're excruciatingly painful, and I have a cry and a little bit of a wank after each one of them. But please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm happy to take suggestions for the next film that I look at. It can be as weird and wonderful as you want. I honestly don't really give a fuck. But yeah, so, you know, fuck off.